A key aspect of social media is the way in which its economy works. I'm not going to discuss how social medias make money. Instead, I'm going to talk about the economic aspects of the form of social media and Web 2.0. To discuss this, I'll be referring to the long-tail business model, how it differs from previous models, an understanding of markets, and finally, how it's expanding out of retail into other public and social spheres. However, in order to be able to understand the most recent business model, the long tail, we must first go back to an older model. In order to run a successful business, there are calculations on what to charge, what to sell, stock costs, advertising costs, staffing, and so on. The larger the business, the harder these sums become. Therefore, Web 2.0 and social media businesses need to function in a slightly different way due to the nature of the business when compared to normal businesses. Social media and Web 2.0 use an older idea. In 1906, Vilfredo Pareto noted that 80% of the land in Italy was owned by 20% of the population. This model, where 80% of effects are being determined by 20% of causes, has proven true in many different aspects. This theory is called the 80-20 rule, or Pareto distribution, and it challenges the assumed model of distribution. Historically, if we are looking for the distribution of a subject across a population, we have thought it to be distributed on a bell curve. However, Pareto, along with many others, noticed that many situations on today's life cannot be accurately displayed on a bell graph, and the 80-20 rule is not as accurate as we initially thought. It cannot be applied to today's business model in regards to Web 2.0 and social media. Power law distributions are characterized by a curve between two values. Instead of dropping aggressively, the power law distribution scales down to a tail on X that is infinitely long. Power laws can be used to describe the relationship between factors such as size of earthquakes to number of casualties. The long-tail business model looks at how the market works online with Web 2.0 and with the development of social media. The long-tail business model deals with selling a lot of very little in order to make the most amount of profit. This theory is that our culture and today's economics are moving away from a focus of small number of hits at the head of the demand and curving towards a huge number of niches in the tail. An example of this can be applied to bookshops. There is a high demand for mainstream books from mainstream institutions. However, the number of people visiting small independent bookshops for niche books is very small. Therefore, the head of the model is incredibly large, whereas the tail is small in number. To conclude, the long-tail business model is where many of few mainstream things are sold, but where few of many niche things are sold. This is all possible due to the lack of needing physical space to store items such as books. This has been made possible with the creation of social media, Web 2.0, and its new and improved applications and softwares.